Hey everyone, good morning and welcome back to the Breakfast Show, episode 40, actually. And for episode 40, myself and Jose are dressed up almost the same. Almost the same. How are you today?
I'm pretty good, Neil. Good morning, and good morning to everybody watching us to this lovely, hopefully not too crazy of a red morning. But I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Neil?
Doing very well. It is another, let's say, beautiful day today. It's a beautiful day to talk about our favorite stock. Well, one of our favorite stocks, but I do assume this has become one of our favorite stocks more recently, especially because of the price that it's trading at.
CoreWeave?
And that's Google.
Oh, Google. Yes, yes.
Circle?
Circle. Insert quantum stock here.
Yeah, exactly. D-Wave, Quantum Computing Incorporated.
Man.
But yeah, we're going to talk a bit about Google today. I did also see that, well, in the chat here, we see comments on HIMS, and I just checked, and it does seem like my evil prediction turned out to be true. HIMS is down 16% after Novo Nordisk decided that they're no longer going to have a pact with them. And this is actually something that I said about Novo Nordisk when the announcement was made. I said, maybe this is a move for Novo Nordisk to then rug pull and crush HIMS. and it seems like it's exactly happening. But Novo Nordisk is also down today.
I don't follow this market too much, Neil. But why? I saw Nova is also down about 5%. What do you think is? Why would that be down if after this collaboration, right? Wouldn't you just see more sales kind of pushing that side instead?
Yeah, but the reason, I mean, first of all, Novo Nordisk right now has no CEO, right? They're still looking for their new CEO, so there is already some uncertainty around that name. Then the fact that they had a partnership with HIMS would mean that maybe they might catch up to Eli Lilly, because Eli Lilly is the leader right now, and maybe using a platform like HIMS, which is more innovative, which is definitely gaining traction, could have helped Novo Nordisk. But on the flip side, HIMS known for the compounded drugs and not really the ones that Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk have. I mean, for some, they remain skeptical. Like, why would a player like Novo Nordisk partner up with someone like HIMS, especially after the recent battles that they had with shortages and all of that? Like, oh, are compounded drugs allowed? Are they not allowed? Are they actually stealing from us? Are they not stealing from us? Because essentially, they don't have to spend the billions of dollars in R&D, and yet they can basically make the same thing. It's not really the same thing, but it's compounded. And so why is it down 5%? I wouldn't be surprised if it gets bought up a little bit already, throughout, okay, depending on how the market reacts throughout the day right now. But I think the big move for Novo Nordisk is going to happen when we see a new CEO. Because right now, a company like that with no CEO is like a huge captain without with a ship without a captain, which
And then it's so weird.
doesn't make much sense.
I would feel like something like this, at end of a partnership, is something that you would need a CEO to really kind of make. I wonder who's playing the interim CEO, and what
Have
game.
a whole board
Oh,
structure there that like it's a European company, so it's a bit different. So they have like a whole different structure. Therefore, in the meantime, to take control of those decisions. But maybe they're already talking with potential candidates, and maybe these are the moves that needed to be made in order for them to choose the right one. I don't know. Could very well be. I guess we'll have more information
yeah. And
as we read
yeah,
more about
and
it.
just a quick, let me just shout out everybody that's kind of joining us. So welcome Oscar, welcome Josh. Let's see who we have: Ronald, Digo, um, Matthias, Men in Shades of Grey. We can see Nighttime in Sydney for Alvin. Let's see, John. Good afternoon, UK time. Good morning, y'all, from Joseph. So, yep. Good morning to everybody, and again, thank you for joining us. Neil, I know we were going to talk about Google, but I was just looking kind of pre-markets. There were some other stocks that were a little bit more down than some of the overall market. I saw Super Micro computer is down about 4% pre-market. And one of the things is they did kind of announce a $2 billion, it's pretty much senior. I think it was a senior note race. Let me just make sure. Um, what was that? But it's so funny. It depends on what kind of day it is on the week, where sometimes raising money could be seen as a bullish thing. I mean, we've seen it with CoreWeave. Every time they raise money, it's seen as bullish. It means that they need more demand. For Supermicro, when it was super popular, I think the same thing was happening. Oh, you're raising $2 billion. Great. It means you need more AI chips and more stuff like that. But now it's kind of going the opposite. And did it just turn massively green right now? Oh, no, never mind. It was just, I think you were clicking at some other. Um,
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at the markets in general. So in Europe, it's red across the board. In Asia, it's red with a little bit of green here in Shanghai. And then pre-market US, this thing just does not want to go down. Huh?
yeah,
Nothing
that's wild.
basically.
Yeah,
It's red, but it's barely
barely red.
it's barely red. Road oil is barely up a little bit here. FX wise, euro dollar, we're back under 115 now, 114. So and crypto, yeah, Bitcoin has also rebounded because I did see that it dipped under 100K yesterday. So yeah, if you, it seems like we want dips, but we are not
We're not
getting
getting
any
him.
at the moment.
Definitely, Neil. So yeah, with Supermicro, it seems like the market is not too happy of maybe them building up another $2 billion of debt, and the senior notes paid by 2030. It seems.
Okay. Fair enough. I did have one thing to add here for AMD before we jump into the Google part of it, because AMD got a nice little price target upgrade today
Nice.
in the AM. Seems like, of course, if the stock goes up, then you have to follow, right? You have to follow.
Yeah.
Stock goes up, you have to upgrade.
Melius. Okay.
So
Holy
yeah, I
smokes.
don't know. They're, of course, they're not that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but there are two targets here, which I also found quite strange. So Melius upgrades AMD to buy, raises price target to $210 from 135.
Hmm.
Says market is beginning to price in long-term GPU upside. Analysts said only in the Middle East, only in the middle of a run, we are upgrading shares of AMD given our view that many things have changed for the better since the beginning of the year. If we are right, that's a good start of the sentence. If we are right, the stock has a lot more to go, despite missing the initial move of the bottom.
Hmm.
AMD is highly volatile, as evidenced by its move from 135 to 111 in 2024. Okay, only to fall as low as $78 in 2025. Our hunch is that we are in the middle of another wave, another move to the upside again, as investors are about to envision even bigger GPU figures in 26 to 2028, given a sustainable surge in inferencing, where investing in AMD's platform seems to be more attractive for hyperscalers and sovereign AI. So sovereign AI part of all of it. But then by saying here, we are raising our estimates over the next 3 years, including our, so I guess the 3 years is 210, and then their 12 months price target is from 110 to 175. Maybe I'm reading it incorrectly, but we have here basically two price targets, and they think that EPS power can top $8 within 2 years.
Yeah, that's
So
interesting to they have those two different price targets there.
yeah, because at first I thought this was a typo, but
Unless that's it.
I don't
Unless
think it's a
that's
typo, because even both of the price targets here are different than the one below. Like even the 135 is different than the
no.
110
I
here.
think it actually might
But
be a typo, Neo. I think for some reason they might have copied the AMD is highly volatile as evidenced by its move from 135 to 211. So I don't know if there's AI writing this, but if it is, it could easily have kind of done that. So maybe they did move their price target from 110 to 175, and that's the real thing.
yeah, let me look at my other at Kaushik here, because he usually has it correctly. Very cute dog. Yeah, so it is to 175.
Right? Yep.
So the copy paste of the other post was basically wrong. And apparently here Novo Nordisk terminates collaboration with HIMSS due to concerns over their illegal mass compounding and deceptive marketing. I mean, my theory here becomes even better. I knew this was going to happen. I just knew there was going to be a rug pull between those two. Unfortunately, the stock is taking a beating, but I think the stock is up already quite significantly.
Yeah, and that's why
Over the past.
Hims is so low today. We saw that kind of. We talked a little bit about it in the beginning, but good there, Neo. Roman says, "Good morning, my favorite duo." Good morning, Roman. You're so nice to us.
Very nice.
AMD fan club. Yeah, that's pretty cool to see that price target jump 175. Would definitely be pretty exciting.
It's funny because I had a discussion with an investor this morning. I had a meeting, and we're talking about NVIDIA, AMD, and why I believe AMD can be something interesting. He didn't disagree. So I guess we're on to something here.
We're on to something, just like we're on to something with Google, I'm guessing. We have Sunny here. Hello, guys. I'm new to your channel. Welcome, Sunny. I think you're in Neil's channel, but welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Let's see.
It's funny. There was someone from your channel that was talking Dutch.
Good morning, Adonis. And what else do we have here? Neil, so
Adonis Creed.
Do you I know you were able to discuss him, so it does seem like you kind of follow the stock. Is this price drop anything that creates maybe an excitement for you to look more into it as an investment, or you're just looking at it just because of it's a company you don't mind knowing about, maybe your viewers have asked before?
So it is a company that I followed. It's a company that I followed since it was, I think, $10 or something like that. It's very interesting. Of course, the whole focus more recently, I'd say over the last 12 months or so, has been around the GLP-1 part of the business, because GLP-1 has taken the world by storm through Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk over the past couple of years. But GLP-1s as a percentage of overall revenue a year or so ago was very small. But the market was seeing this part of the business grow quite quickly, which is why it wanted also to give the stock a higher premium, although the stock was very cheap at $10, at $15 as well. It's a fast-growing company, profitable. And so quite attractive, right? If you want to get that exposure. Now, as GLP-1s became a larger chunk of the company, I do feel that a lot of the investors lost focus on what's the most important part here of HIMS, and that's the platform that they offer, because they offer various solutions, right? Whether it's hair loss or problems in your pants and whatnot, and some other things out there. It's not just GLP-1, but of course GLP-1 market is quite big. And that's the thing, you invest in HIMS because of the platform, not because of one specific product. Will it become interesting enough for me to open up a position? I don't know. I think they are still. I mean, it could very well work without Novo Nordisk, right? I don't think it will be such a huge difference for them for the future. But I don't know. I still think, I don't know. Let's see actually at Novo Nordisk where they're at right now. They're also a bit in no man's land, because currently, valuation wise, I think Novo Nordisk is very cheap. This is a very profitable company, a huge company out there. Of course, when you have no CEO, I guess you will be trading at a discount until you get a CEO, until you get a new vision and a structure. But for HIMS, if the pullback is big enough, I'm pretty sure it will find enough buyers, right? Right now, it seems like it will open just over the 50-day moving average on those nice little lines here. The 200-day one is much lower. The 200-day one sits at around $36. Will it drop there? I don't know. It's quite a huge drop to get to $36. And it's not like the business is struggling. The business is actually doing what it should be doing. So there is no reason for the stock to crash more other than the news here. So I'm not going to buy it, if that's the question.
Yep. Thank you for that, Neil. And I don't know if we have any other topics we want to talk about, or we want to jump into Google before then.
One last thing, actually, that I bookmarked actually on Novo Nordisk. I didn't even notice back then that the announcement was made. So let me do this. This is what they expect to happen, which is insane, right? Diabetes is a serious chronic disease with increasing prevalence worldwide and multiple associated I don't know what that word actually means, but okay. They say here, in 2050, around 850 million adults are expected to live with diabetes. That's 1 in 8. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. And of course, I mean, if you're long obesity, then I guess you should be long Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. But this is nuts as a statistic.
Very wild. So, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. So, what is
that's
this?
What I'm wondering. Yeah, what is
this? Even the charts are broken for Google. What the heck is this?
Time to lose some weight, chat.
Much better.
Long obesity, long Novo. Yep. That's the.
Yeah. Maybe we should be long some gyms as well. But,
long Peloton.
Okay, Peloton. Now that you.
That's a name I haven't heard in years.
$6. $2.4 billion in market cap, Jose. Maybe we buy it.
let's just pay cash.
We buy it, and then we do like Peloton sponsored classes by Novo Nordisk. Genius.
Oh man,
genius stuff. Okay, Google. I guess that's why everybody's here. I mean, I made a video, you made a video. My phone is now waking up because I said Google. Maybe yours as well. I don't know.
No, headphones. The heck is speakers? Oh, you said it. Never mind.
Yeah. So we are back under all of these moving averages. We're back under $170. Last week, I mean, I think it was on Friday, I made a video and I said I didn't really see a good reason for it to come down. I saw the fine, like the upcoming potential fine from Europe,
Mhm.
but I'm so used to them getting fined that I don't consider that as a breaking news for
It's a
for
normal.
Google. Well, what's $4 billion
Yeah.
for them, right? Of a potential fine. But yeah, we're back. We're back here. We have seen previous pullbacks, but these pullbacks have always been bought up, and then we went higher and higher. But right now, we are seeing a little bit of weakness in Google over the last couple of days. I'd say if we look at the weekly very quick, and then we're actually going to look at the business. Look, we had red candle, green candle, red candle, then more green than red. So maybe it was bound for a little pullback, although it was not overbought whatsoever. So I don't know. This is a very, very strange thing, as we will talk about in this video. I don't know if you have something prepared. Maybe you want to show
Oh
them
yeah.
what you showed me yesterday
Of course. You know,
with the
let me
valuation
let
stuff.
me pull that up really quickly. Um, let's see.
So if you long McDonald's, Nestle, and Novo Nordisk, you basically invest in the cause and the remedy.
Oh, that's smart investing right there. Um,
You can have like a full package, like a mystery box. You get a McDonald's, you get Nestle, you get your GLP-1s, you maybe get even Nike shoes so you can go on a run. It's like the best mystery box out there.
all right, Neil. I'm sharing screen. I'm a noob here. Am I sharing screen?
You are
Is it
sharing
my
screen,
million
yes.
dollars, or is it just no? Okay. Um, so
Wow, minus
mine
90% on Nvidia.
didn't. So I did a video like I talked about it. You know, you did as well, and I talked about kind of three reasons why I believe Google is a bit overvalued, undervalued, not overvalued, undervalued. And reason number one, I think, is just pure multiple expansion. I mean, the I have five other Max 7 here with Google. So Google is red. I have everything but Tesla here because I think Tesla's PE ratio is just too far. But we can see there's definitely kind of a average around between the high 20s, low 30s that every other Max 7, excluding Google and Tesla, are trading in. And this is to me a little bit shocking because Meta, which is trading at a forward PE ratio, which is yellow, of about 26.73, is one that usually Neil follows Google almost to a T. They're usually the ones trading in the low in the low 20s, in the high teens. But now Meta has gone off as the market is getting very excited about the AI push from Meta, even though it's from all the news that we're hearing. Neil, it's failing in that angle right now. It has to do all these multi-billion dollars investments, acquisitions to get AI talent. It needs to offer hundreds of millions of dollars to OpenAI's engineering team. We're hearing a lot of drama from all the other names in the AI space, except from Google, in my opinion. I think Google is doing really well with their AI solution. So just the first reason on multiple expansion, if we just jump from an 18 to a 25, which is still cheaper than all the other Max 7, that alone is a 40% gain and taking it to a $235. I think if the market eventually wakes up to the strength of Google, that's not an impossible feature of just multiple expansion happening for the stock. And this is forward PE ratios. Here and also, you know, all these great charts you can find at fiscal.ai/breakfast if you want 15% off. But quick plug there. Here on revenue growth, the highest grower out of those six, Neo, is my baby NVIDIA with 86.2% year over year growth. But Google is right here in the middle, around 13.9%. It's higher than your Amazon. It's higher than your Apple. Yet it's trading at lower valuations. It's almost on par with Microsoft. I think Microsoft was growing like 0.2 percentage points faster. And I think eventually we're going to change. That's going to change. I do think Google is going to be growing at faster levels than Microsoft in the upcoming quarters. In forms of free cash flow, Neil, this is the one versus this quarter, last trailing 12 months, is the only one that's actually growing in forms of free cash flow. For a company that's dying, for a company that's losing market share and all this stuff, whatever, with AI search kind of cannibalizing its business or whatever the bear thesis is, this is the one that's actually growing in free cash flow, where almost every other player is decreasing. Apple saw a small growth of about 200 million, but this one actually saw growth of about $2 billion. The only one else that's growing here is Nvidia, but Microsoft is down. Amazon is down, Meta is down in free cash flow. Yet these are trading at higher valuations. And the final thing, I really like this chart, Neil, here for recent 3 is I didn't talk about recent 2. Recent 2 is just the overall AI strength that it has. It has this ultimate flywheel of data sets from YouTube, from maps, from advertisements, from search, from its phone business, that it has so much data to make a lot better models in the future as well. So that's reason number 2. And reason number 3 is my favorite, which is cloud growth. Cloud revenue, we could see in 2021 was only 7% of this company's total revenue. Now it's jumping to about 13% in the last trailing 12 months. If you actually look at it on a quarterly basis, I think it's closer to 14 and 15% per quarter now. So obviously you got to average the previous, but I think cloud is going to continue to grow dramatically and become even a bigger portion of total revenue, which I believe the market will then start to see this and give it that multiple expansion that I was talking about earlier on. With Google Cloud, I mean, we keep hearing from the CFO that they still have more demand than capacity, so they need to build more AI chips. And I think that's the great thing, that they have their own AI chips that are actually really good. So TPUs are their own AI chips that they're really good at making them. I don't think anybody else has a strong AI infrastructure on ASIC outside of Google. We hear Amazon with the Trainium. That's okay. That's number 2. But I think Google is definitely pretty strong here. And I think in the market where there's not enough NVIDIA chips, if you have a strong second chip, it can help you build that AI infrastructure a lot faster and help you grow faster than the overall market. So those are 2 itsy bitsy tiny reasons why I think maybe Google's a bit undervalued right now.
Okay, with that, I'll share my screen in a bit, but I don't want to answer this question. By the way, all of the charts, everything we're showing you is, of course, thanks to our partner, fiscal.ai. You get 15% off. The link is down in the description of our live stream. So Seba here asks, Meta is a great business, obviously, but why it gets so much more love than Google is a mystery to me. It is very simple, actually. It's because of the narrative. The narrative is that search is dying, and search is basically Google's cash cow. Meta does not have the same pressure, right? Meta is advertising, whether it's through their apps, through their platforms. Doesn't matter if search dies or not. Actually, they might be gaining from people searching on Instagram, for example, or people using Meta AI on WhatsApp and all of that. So that's basically it. There's much less pressure on Meta's business, or potential pressure on Meta's business in the future, a bit like Meta back in 2022. Back in Meta 2022, there was a lot of pressure on Meta's business because of the iOS changes from Apple. We've seen that happening, right? Free cash was basically thrown out of the window. You had all of those investments in the metaverse. So I'm not saying again, because I know it's a very, very cheap comparison to hear this time and time again, right? Company X is down, and so it has to be Meta 2022. We've heard this across the board, right? I've heard this with PayPal. I'm hearing this with Nike. I'm hearing this with AMD. It just doesn't make any sense. Meta, as you can see, in 2022, the moment they decided to basically stop spending so much money, you've seen the real profitability of their business. With a lot of the other companies, it's not like they stop spending and suddenly they have free cash flow margins of 30+% or so. No, it's not going to happen, and it's not the same at all. With that said, let me share my slides real quick. Quick thank you here from Ali Reza, super chat. Did you see Code to EMW 2025 PDF? I did, and I covered it last week. So make sure to check out that video. Yes, and I know what you're going to say. It's because Apple and Google are excluded from the terrific 40s. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a bit. So first up, in case you missed my Alphabet video last week, shame on you, but I do think that most of you have watched it before. So this is Google stock and Google's net income over the past 10 years. As you can see, Google stock usually follows net income, but it did not happen just yet. We can see net income, by the way, Google net income wise is the most profitable out of all of the companies out there. It's more profitable than Microsoft, it's more profitable than Apple. Now, there was only once where the stock did go up while net income went down. That was here 2017, 2018. But all the rest, every time we've seen net income drop, you can see that the stock drops as well. Net income rebounds, stock rebounds, and now we did drop. We've seen a small rebound from the $140 or so, but we still have, I think, a way to go. I have a poll running right now. If Google can reach $200 by the end of the year, currently close to 80% of you think it will, which would mean that the stock is back to the usual trend that we've seen in the past, where the stock follows net income. Now, of course, the markets are always forward looking, and this is basically the main reason why we've seen pressure, right? It's the Google search and other revenue, which is the majority of the revenue of the business right now, still growing 10% last quarter. It's a $50 billion business a quarter, by the way. But people think that this is going to go away just like nothing happened, right? The $50 billion business per quarter is just going to disappear, because that makes a lot of sense. We then have YouTube ads. YouTube is also growing at 10%. This is also a business generating around $37 billion a year and growing 10%. Then we have Google Cloud. This is a business generating now, let's call it $50 billion a year, growing 28% last quarter. Now you're going to tell me, oh, but look, it's been decelerating, right? Yes, but if we look at the September quarter, 2024, that's 35% year-over-year growth on top of a very, very weak quarter back in 2023. So it's artificially very, very high, that 35%. Plus, what they've been telling us is that they are capacity constrained, which means if they had more capacity, they would have generated more revenue here, which is always great for the future, because we know that this will just continue to grow more and more. There's another side of Alphabet, Google's business, right? There's the Google subscription platform and devices revenue. This is also a business that is generating them around $36, $37 billion a year, growing 16%. So you're starting to add all of these businesses that generate close to 40% a year, $40 billion a year, $50 billion a year. Then you have, of course, Google Search, which is already at $210 billion a year or so. And you're thinking, okay, I don't see this business going away anytime soon. And this is shared by Chris from Growth to Value here. 7 apps with over 2 billion people, right? And this doesn't even include Google Cloud, for example, future potential of Waymo and stuff like that. We can see here what the market is expecting. Revenue-wise, it's expected to grow 10% in each of the next coming fiscal years, while free cash flow this year is only expected to grow 5.1%. It's actually expected to accelerate in the upcoming 2 fiscal years, close to 20% year-over-year growth. What we've seen more recently, this comes from Morgan Stanley research, is that, well, things are trending in the right direction, more specifically in this chart right here. Users aged 16 to 24 increasingly starting with Google to research products online, over 500 basis points versus 6 months ago. And Google also gained share in the lower funnel, with 30% of 16 to 24 years old citing Google as the first place they go when they know exactly which products they want to purchase. That's up 900 basis points, which is this part right here. And they're actually taking market share from Amazon. So yeah, and remember, this is despite the release of all of these chatbots, right, over the last 2 years. Google is still showing some strength. Now, free cash flow margin wise, I do expect it to rebound, to go back higher to the 25% or so, as CapEx does not accelerate as much as it has been over the last couple of years. And as Google Cloud becomes more and more profitable, I do think that we're going to see free cash flow go up as well, right? As you've seen right here, CapEx has been growing quite rapidly over the past year. So I don't know, to me, Google still remains one of those no-brainer stocks at the moment. Actually, I have one extra thing I wanna show you. This was from last month, but still, my point still stands here. Global Google daily active users have increased over the past year. Sorry. If we look at global daily active users year-over-year growth, it has been increasing 13% back in April, same as March. Not bad, right, for a business that is supposedly dying. If we look at US, same thing here. In US, Google's mobile daily active users increased 7% year-over-year. And that was up from the 6% back in March. So here again, no signs of Google dying. This is a business that is still growing. And the data shows that it's growing, right? It's not because you or your friends are using ChatGPT for their work, or maybe Gemini, right? Because Gemini is part of Google, that the world is not using Google. The data suggests that more people are using Google today than they did before, which is because the service has become better.
Yeah, agree, Neil. I mean, this one is one of those that I'm gonna be heavily adding into my portfolio. It's right now I have been in Google through ETF approach, Neil, and I'm gonna make this like a really top holding on an individual basis.
Yeah, and to answer back the Kotu question, where is it? It's this. This is basically probably what you wanted me to share. This is how they reach the list. YouTube is unwatchable, but you are still all here.
Because there was a lot of complaint about so many ads, and I think that's such a thing. I mean, I feel like every time I go to a friend's house, like they still have YouTube ads, and it's like they complain about it, but they still end up watching there and spending so much time on all these Google platforms.
Yeah, I mean, look, eventually all of the platforms are ad driven, right? And if you don't want ads, you'll pay an extra fee for it. And think about it. I don't know how much it costs in the US per month. YouTube Premium, what is it, $14?
And then you actually could get like the family package, and it's like you can include 5 people or 6 people, get 6 of your friends, and you're paying what, a few dollars a month.
Yeah. No ads. You get music as well. You probably get, in the US, you probably have sports, on it. I think.
No, that's well, it depends. I think it's extra.
That's extra?
Yeah, for like football.
Okay.
Well, US football.
But still, the amount of time that you save by not getting ads, I think, is worth a couple of bucks a month. No,
I agree.
So yeah, this was basically the Kotu presentation. I covered this in length in another video. I'm not going to repeat it again and again, but yeah, they are not included here in the Fantastic 40 because apparently, wait, why am I going back? Because apparently Google does not meet the criteria here, which I find it like exclude companies facing multiple compression versus the market. I just don't see how from here Google is still facing multiple compressions.
Yeah, I agree.
Versus
it's trading already at a multiple compressed price.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's quite strange, but yeah, Alphabet, Google is, despite its size, because I know we also like to look at potential multi-baggers, right? I'm not expecting a 5x or a 10x from a company like Google, but I'm definitely expecting outperformance by it. Just to go back to fair value, I think this stock can definitely outperform the market, and then in the future continue to grow. We've been talking about the fact that their TPUs, their cost structures, right, for data centers, much better than the rest, and so they should be able to grow faster. They should be able to become more profitable as well. The recent partnership with OpenAI, for example, I mean, we talked about this yesterday on the Fool's Show, but that partnership is a pretty big deal that just disappeared, it seems, having a partnership with OpenAI. Because if OpenAI does become, let's say, or does stay the number one um, LLM or AI company, whatever you want to call it, then it benefits a company like Google, since now Google Cloud has OpenAI as a customer. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like in the Google's bear case, it's they can only lose revenue from search, but they can never make revenue on the other side of the business, which doesn't make any sense to me.
I agree, Neil. And I mean, like, Google's not gonna end. I mean, AI is not gonna end all these advertisement markets. Um, Maybe the blue links, but it's just a transformation of the blue links from some place to another. So these ads are getting looking while watching your stream. Oof, not sure, not sure what.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I know you get
That's
hit.
how we buy Google stock
That's how
with
we buy.
AdSense.
Yeah, yeah. That is true. One of the let's not forget the original research that gave birth to LLMs. I think it had to do with the
Yep.
transformers and stuff like that.
Yeah, 2017.
Was done by Google researchers. Google's has also been one of the leaders in AI infrastructure design. A lot of the things of kind of this AI connectivity or connectivity of massive server connections is actually coming from studies that Google has done. So they're really really important in this AI phase. Um, it's just
YouTube is the most valuable platform for consuming information content. Of course, people will stay on it.
But
But
isn't
the
that
growth
like
potential
every
almost all
app
decline.
nowadays? It's like if yeah.
I mean, if something is free, of course you will have ads, because otherwise it doesn't stay free,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And actually, on that, we had a Goldman come out with a couple of projections for the future. We'll come back to the Micron stuff in a bit. So they expect Google search to still grow quite comfortably over the next couple of years. Of course, some years they don't grow as fast as previously, and those are just projections. But look at Google, YouTube Shorts projected revenue growth, 26% CAGR. They go from $3 billion in 2025 to over $10.5 billion in 2030. Crazy. I mean, YouTube Shorts alone generates more revenue than a lot of these shitcoins that are trading at all-time highs at the moment.
That is wild. And funny how people talk on YouTube that Google is useless, but without Google, yeah. I mean, I don't hear too many YouTube. I mean, I don't watch too much YouTube content on investing. But are there
Thank you.
other people other people out there that might be bearish on the stock?
Um, Probably,
Yeah,
probably some. And yeah, YouTube is replacing traditional TV consumption, right?
yeah. I don't turn on
Especially
any
in the
TV.
US. Yeah, especially in the US, you have YouTube TV, so it makes more sense. Um,
That's wild.
I actually spent more time. No, maybe not. Maybe still more Netflix. Although Netflix more recently, there's not much to watch there. So I do. Yeah, YouTube probably is the main content consumption platform, I'd say. I don't want to mention the other platform, because then maybe we'll get legal issues
Legal
here.
issues. Jose, do you show your portfolio? Like, I do not. I mean, I do kind of some random portfolio updates every once in a while. Um, but an actual like an update. I don't know how often you show yours, Neil. Um,
Weekly Sunday
oh,
videos. I
weekly
did one
Sunday videos.
yesterday
Got
of
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say most of the time I don't really. If I do any purchases, it's really just on my typical stocks. That I don't. Yeah, but I might be doing a new update with some of the changes I'm making, like Google becoming a massive position now, compared to where it's at right now. So maybe when I make big changes, I'll start to do them then.
I have here a question about. Okay, this is the complete opposite then of a Google. This is a company worth $3 billion, not $2 trillion. Should we all buy the local right now? I don't know. Everybody should do what is best for him. But I did buy last week more the local, because just like with Google, I think it is very very cheap at the moment, but that's just for me. Let's see what happens. Pre-market with the local, still $10, still $10 right now. Go back to the Micron comment. What are expectations for the Micron report? My only issue with with the upcoming report is the fact that we are almost, yeah, we're basically at the double
From the lows.
since the
That's
April
wild.
lows. It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
It's
that is
crazy how.
wild.
So that's my only issue, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay. Actually, not just okay, good quarter for them. But is that going to be enough? Because now I feel like we are priced for a very, very good quarter for Micron, maybe even better guidance. Um, but does it matter for me? I don't think so. Like, I didn't buy Micron because I think it should be worth 124, and I'll be happy with that. I think I am already up 30, I think 30% on my position, which 38%, so even better, which I started I think earlier this year. So if it drops on a good report, then fine. Like, as long as the commentaries are good, I think we're good to go across the semiconductor ecosystem, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Neil, with Micron, right? I think last quarter we keep seeing the same thing where it's like we see strong numbers for the server market, the HBM market, but the consumer market might still be lagging. I wonder if that's still the case here. I think the market is still more focused on just like actual revenue growth, and it's still a little bit driven by the consumer space. But to me, it's gonna be crazy when this one finally has all the tailwinds in all the industries. This could be a multi heavy revenue grower. So it depends on what the market is expecting. Are they more focused on HBM now, or are they still focused a lot more in kind of the consumer centric?
Yeah, I guess the balance is what the market is looking for right now, because HBM is definitely expected to grow rapidly for the year, for the quarter, but for the whole year. So it's really how big of an impact is the other side of the business that is currently struggling, and then maybe some questions on margins. I guess margins expansion is also going to be a focus. Hopefully, some comments under the factory build-outs, right? Because I think we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. That in, I think, New York, was it New York?
New York was having some lagging issues, but then they built in two, I forget, two other states. I think it was like West Virginia and Idaho. If I'm or high, something, but there were two other states that they also announced more build outs too. Um, and staying here with Micron, I've talked about, I don't own Micron, but obviously I talk a lot about semiconductor stocks in general. I've talked about it. I like the stock below the 105s. Anything below there, I think originally before this massive crash on April, I really liked it under the 100, and I don't believe, I personally wouldn't consider this accumulation zone anymore. Main reason, Neil talked about it. I mean, massive jump right before earnings. If it does pull back after earnings with great commentary, maybe I might share. But for me, I wouldn't be adding at these levels. Would you, Neil? Would you be adding at these levels, or?
And by the way, these are weekly
Yeah.
candles, not daily. These are we big
Imagine.
green weekly
Yeah.
candles. Yeah. The daily looks like like this.
This is a wild one. It's extremely volatile, and I think it will continue to be.
Super
Yeah.
overbought as well right now.
Mhm.
So me, no, I'm not looking to buy
Mhm.
right now, because, like I said, I'm already up. I have a good enough position, and I'm just looking more information on Wednesday after hours. I'm getting more information for free,
Mhm.
basically, or not, depending on the stock's reaction.
Free or for a price?
But yeah, the usual. So no, currently I'm not willing to chase it. Like I said, I'm not willing to chase it, and it's the same with other stocks. For example, here we have. Did you look at Zeta?
Up
I covered
16%
this last week.
today.
Yeah, another, you see, another 16%. So I covered this at $12 and something, and now it's at 16. It's crazy how fast these things are moving. Same with Oscar Health, also
This one's wild.
covered it
I don't
here,
even know what they do.
went up 30%. um, either my channel is getting targeted by the algos and I'm not getting my cut, or there's something weird going on here. But yeah, I'm not willing to chase. Yesterday I talked a lot more about United Health,
Mhm.
right? Because if you look at Oscar Health, right, you get into the health insurance business industry. It's of course, market cap wise, much smaller, growing quite faster. Zeta Global is more in the marketing side of it all. So I guess more in my circle of competence. But if I were to go with health insurance, then I would be right now, especially because I don't want to chase, despite everything I said about Oscar, which is great. I might be inclined to just pick up some shares of United Health here at $300 and potentially flip it like in the next 6 months or so, um, because I just think this is a crazy good business already established that just has had a huge overreaction.
Yeah.
I mean, the stock is basically split in half. The company does not. The company's revenue have not been split in half. Neither were the profits, and so yeah,
And
it's very
yeah,
tempting.
and
It's very tempting.
some comments here, Neil. Manuel AMD pre-market plus 2.5%. I think one of the reasons we talked about earlier was it did get a nice price target increase. Um, I think from we saw Melius went from 115 to
Yeah.
175 or something like that. So it
Mm-hmm.
seems I think this trend will continue at least in the short term of more analysts increasing the overall price target for this company.
Yeah, as the price goes up, we will have more price target upgrades for sure. Another super chat here. Thank you very much. I wish Google would do more buybacks like Apple. Google does a lot of share buybacks actually each and every quarter. I think last quarter they increased their share buyback program again.
Mhm.
So they are definitely buying back a significant amount of shares.
Mhm. Let's see. Let's see. HIMS is still down a nice amount. It continues to drop reportedly. Um,
Yeah,
down.
47 now.
Yeah, it's down
What
about.
about Uber?
Is Uber down?
Uber is flat.
Yeah.
No,
HIMS is down
Martin was asking.
25%. That's wild. Um,
Yeah, so Uber down a little bit. Yesterday was a big day in Austin. Huh? I don't know if you've seen some of the videos
he,
of the Tesla
yeah, I've seen
robotaxis.
some videos. I know there's this popular YouTuber Dave. I forget his full the full, but there's a lot of
Hey, Dave.
YouTube content coming out. Um, there are some that I also looked at. There was one that I saw out of all the ones that I saw. There was one that was a little bit iffy. I don't know if you've seen that one. That it's like it's trying to make a left
The
turn.
clip,
Yeah, it was a small clip and it's trying to make
yeah,
a left turn,
from Rob.
and then it's
Yeah,
like and it.
yes,
Um,
but yeah, it happens. But I'll show you from the same clip from Tesla Daily, Rob Maurer. Um, from the same clip, of course, everybody focused on that mistake from the robotaxi, but I'll show you a mistake from a human. I'll show you a mistake from a human. So I clipped it as well. This is from the robotaxi. Look at the car right here.
yeah.
Up,
Hey.
almost car
Yeah.
crash.
And that
This is not a robotaxi.
yeah.
This is a human.
That's the thing, Neil. I feel like it sucks for the robo taxis because every human thinks they drive perfect. I mean, try being a passenger and telling somebody how to drive. You're automatically called a backseat driver, even if they make a mistake. So I think right now we're in this world where every person thinks they're going to be able to drive better than this robo taxis, but humans are making way more mistakes. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's all about that one mistake that one robo taxi is gonna make.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, I saw this coming, right? And I'm sure if in the future Tesla expands robotaxi and
Yeah,
suddenly we have a
Klaus
car
Lee,
crash,
thank you.
for example. Yes, hey Dave on X.
Uh,
Um, if we have like a robotaxi car crash, you can rest assured that that clip will be played time and time again. But all the other thousands of hours of it driving perfectly will not be shared because it makes more sense to cover the negative than the positive. Than a positive around robotaxi for sure.
I think I like this sentiment now. I think whenever something bad happens, we have to say a human. And I think this would eventually end the. It's like we're hearing more of a human, a human, a human. This should be a marketing scheme for Tesla or for Waymo or all these other robo taxis. Just start saying a human.
Yeah, a human. It's not bad. If Google has to sell Chrome, they lose Gemini. No, not
No,
necessarily.
they can. I mean,
Chrome is a browser.
yeah. I mean, if they lose, I guess Sean wants to is mention maybe the loss of data there. But if there's a split up, the companies still work each other, could still work with each other. I don't think there's nothing that's going to prevent it. It just now opens up the opportunity where the market can say, look, I was offering Chrome this amount of money, but they didn't give me that money because they're still working with the Gemini team or whatever. As long as in the split up, it's not the end of the world of a partnership between the Google platforms. It's now they have to just pay their fair share if there is a split up, or make it more um, market competitive, where it's you can't just play with Google, you have to open it up to other players as well.
Although I'd say that Chrome, especially with Chromium, is the most open out of the others, right? Especially Safari, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Perplexity and Bing are built on Chromium.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I'm at SSSB. Just quick, we talked. Just there were a few people asking again about what's happening with IMS. So here's a quick update of what's happening.
And then we have your Joseph here. Shots fired.
Shots. I would never say that. That is rough, Joseph. You putting your brother on deep waters right now.
This is
definitely not my wife, but there are certain people that I can't. I just like, wow. I get in the car. I'm like, I would feel so much safer in FSD than this.
Oh, there are certain times I am telling someone I am walking. I am not going in the car with you.
And those same people,
I have no problem saying that.
And those same people are like, robotaxi can't do this.
I guess they don't even know robotaxis exist, but yeah. What's strange is that Tesla basically is flat currently.
Yeah.
Even with the launch, which, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because it was, of course, a big day yesterday, right? The fact that they have an app and you can order a Tesla robotaxi, that's a big deal, good opening. But technically speaking,
what's going on?
nothing changed yesterday, right?
It looked just like my
you and your
it looked exactly like
exactly.
my Tesla FSD.
That's why I made my tweet yesterday. It's like, oh, people with Tesla that are driving daily with their Tesla with FSD enabled are now experiencing Tesla with FSD enabled in Austin. I mean, of course, there's a lot of like hype, and for content creation, it's very, very nice. But at the end of the day, for these people, nothing has changed, right? Okay, you're not sitting in the driver's seat, but you're still in your same Tesla, like you have one at home, that is driving you from one place to the other with FSD enabled. It would have been, I guess, much better to see people that did never experience it and see their reaction of it. Because the Tesla folks are the Tesla folks. They're not the
That is
targets
true.
anymore, right?
Yeah, it's like they already knew, so it's like that is true.
I mean, it makes sense that Tesla opens up to them first because they know the experience, they know how to handle all of it. But to me, it will become more serious when others use it, like when people started to use Waymo, because Waymo is Waymo, is new. Nobody owns a Waymo. Yeah, a lot of hype yesterday, but it was, of course, a very big day or good opening across the board.
Neil, let me just I need to step out really quickly. I'll be right back.
No problem. In the meantime, let me answer here MD33, because I did see your comment before, just didn't have the time. So Shift 4, I covered it a long time ago, actually. I think $40 or so, but since I already have a couple of fintech companies in my portfolio, adding another one, although I like it very much, it is, like you say, global exposure, low CAC, valuation wise, it makes a lot of sense. The stock did drop. I think this was when no, this was earnings, but there was also a drop here somewhere, maybe here, because of Jared Isaacman, right, when he stepped down. But now that he's not going to lead NASA, so is he coming back? Is he not coming back? I didn't really follow that story closely. So if some of you do follow this closer, let me know if he's back as CEO of the company or not. Let me know. Right now, yeah, $92. Let's see. I want to go to fiscal AI just to see some of the metrics for a company. So $6.3 billion in market cap, which of course makes it very interesting if we think this can become a behemoth in the future. Valuation wise, yeah, like you say, very, very interesting. 32 times forward PE. Let me zoom in a little bit. Forward PE 16.2 times, trailing 32. Average analyst price targets, okay, 113. Gross profit margin 30%, net 6.5, free cash flow 10.6. Revenue forward 2 years, 21% growth, EPS growing faster than that. Okay, so Jarrett is on the he's on the board, but Taylor is remaining CEO. Okay, fine. Doesn't really change my thesis around all of this much, but it's good to see Jarrett still being part of his company that he started a long, long time ago. It is indeed a very, very interesting company, but yeah, I don't know. I already have too many fintech players in my portfolio. So to add yet another one here, although very attractive, do I need another one? Or should I just focus on my SoFi and PayPal? Although I'm pretty sure that Shift has a higher beta than a PayPal, for example. Look, this is a company that is, it's growing very fast. It's growing very fast, very, very good strategic M&As as well to expand the portfolio. Let's actually see what they said at their annual general meeting more recently. So what do we have here? Routine meeting, nothing much has changed. So maybe a conference. Let's see. By the way, all of that is available on fiscal.ai, link in the description. So modest year-over-year increases in hotel offsetting modest declines in restaurants. Less than 20% of revenue is international, but growing. Okay, so there is international potential here. Global Blue is, I think, the company that they acquired this year is growing at 20% year-over-year, targeting 3.3 times net leverage by the end of 2025. Yeah, post Global Blue acquisition. Look, it is a very, very good company. Attractive as well. I just don't need another fintech exposure. But if I were to create a portfolio from scratch and I cannot choose what I have right now, it's probably one of the fintech players that I'd had with new. Probably Shift. If I had two, probably Shift and new holdings if I really wanted that exposure. Let's see, HIMS down 24%, back under $50.
Yeah. And back, I was looking at some comments. Kind of Jules was saying, I want to buy Google, but is this the right time to do it in this uncertain time? So we did get a lot of responses coming out that's saying there was this one. Let's see. I agree with this comment here, Neil. Uncertain times is usually the best time to buy. I mean, perfect example was Meta Platforms in the early, when they transformed to Meta Platforms from Facebook company. I thought that was a great time, even though there was uncertainty of where the company was going. Even though it's weird, it's uncertain on the top level things, right? Or how the market is perceiving it. But if you looked at Meta Platforms when they transformed on Meta Platforms, everybody was saying that Meta was investing all this money in the metaverse. But if you looked at just what Mark Zuckerberg was saying, he was saying, look, we're investing on all these AI data center servers that can be used for more than just the metaverse. We can use it a lot for our core products and improving our advertisement. And it's like, it's so weird because if you just listen to that part, it's a no-brainer. but somehow the market just follows this overall sentiment, this overall thesis that this company is just burning money on nothing. And I think that's what's happening right now with Google. We have Robert saying, yeah, cloud will have a massive growth this year. Oracle also went crazy on data center growth. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know if just this, Robert, I'm pretty sure Robert agrees, not just this year, but in the upcoming years, just the aspect of having its own AI chip can help it grow a lot faster than the other players. And they have great relationships with NVIDIA. I mean, one of the favorite things about them is NVIDIA and Google partnered up to make a form of AI server that is great for enterprise worlds, so that they can use Geminis, because there's certain companies that you can't run things on the cloud due to security issues, due to whatever program or industry you're in. It could be a national defense, national security issue, national security government play. So Google partnered up with NVIDIA, where they're making AI servers that they can sell powered by Gemini on it. So they have a great relationship with NVIDIA as well, and they have their own AI chip. So I agree. Uncertain times is probably my favorite times. Um, and then there was another
Just
question.
buy, just buy, 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 buy. It's like the Jim Cramer button. He has like buy, buy.
Do you guys think ASML competitors will appear? Does the company deserve more attention? I don't know if it deserves more attention. I think ASML gets the attention it deserves. Um, Whenever you think of semiconductor equipment player, you think of ASML. Whenever you think of a monopoly business, most people think of ASML. So I think it's rightfully in the eyes of um, the market, and I don't think competitors are coming anytime soon for ASML, especially for high NA or any form of EUV at that matter. So I also do think it's one of the undervalued. I think semiconductor equipment plays as a whole is undervalued, and the ASML falls in that list. And let's see. I don't know if you have any other questions, Neil. Those are the quick ones. Um,
Now let's have a look at what's happening in the markets real quick. Let me load this up. Da-da-da. I don't really have a pre-market action here. So let's see what we got right here. Oops. 434, the 10-year. Okay. So, whoops. Europe, thank you for the rewards. I'm not interested, as for the last 10,000 times
you still
I've
use
clicked on
honey?
that.
Have you not seen that honey thingy?
You know, it was trending for 2 days and then it completely disappeared.
That
As if nothing happened. Of course I use honey. Why wouldn't I use honey if it saves me a couple of dollars here and there?
because you're a YouTube content creator. I don't know.
I didn't get clicks from it. Plus, I'm a shareholder of PayPal, so I don't have no choice. I have no choice. So, anyways, Europe is still red. Asia also unchanged. And wow, US pre-markets are actually green. That's crazy. That's wild. Bearish Google, my YouTube stream just crashed. You should be bearish your internet provider, I think.
It is crazy. Stock futures are green now. That is pretty wild.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, the amount of opportunities the market had to actually really dip is
Yeah,
is insane.
I was obviously not to put light off the matters, but in the form of a stock market presence, I did think we were going to have like a red day today. And I mean, it's still too early to tell, but yeah. And Rismo says it's coming. Not sure if he was talking about the futures right now
He's
or
talking about
PayPal
honey.
I agree, Riz.
Honey. It's coming. It's Yeah, but for me, the user, it's
Yeah.
not, right? Because for me, the user, I get the discount,
Yeah,
so I don't care
yeah,
what they do afterwards.
that's true. That's true. For the user, it's not as bad.
That was my whole point. My whole point was that me as a user, I get my discount. You as the referral guy, okay, you probably get scammed, but I couldn't care less because I am getting my 10% off.
Regardless. And I like this thought process from Super Disco. Lots of reason. And I don't know if they're talking about Google, but I think this is actually a great thought for a lot of long term holds. A lot of reasons price could continue to drop from where they're at. And I think if this is regarding to Google, Neil, we both can agree that this is um, we don't while we are bullish in Google, we don't expect the stock to continue to go up, right? I think we could expect volatility. If you told me tomorrow Google's was at 150, I wouldn't be. Maybe tomorrow I would be shocked. If it happened in a matter of a day, I would be shocked. But if overall you told me the stock can continue to go down from here, I would say yeah, that's possible. But I think my risk to reward ratio, I'm closer to the bottom than I am to the top on Google.
Yeah, I mean, we were at 140 not so long ago, right?
Yeah.
Actually, at the start of April, we're at 140. So it is possible. It's not that likely,
Yeah.
I'd say.
What's up, Martin? Martin says it was steep red. You were all asleep back then at 4 a.m. Yeah.
It's talking about the futures.
Yeah.
Johnny here saying too long didn't read on Google. Well, you're not reading anything here, so it's too long didn't watch, I guess.
Oh my God, Mr. Technical around here. Mr. Technical.
Well,
This is it. 612 has it.
Yeah, too long. It's a buy. Exactly, it's a buy. What else? What did I want to show? Yeah, so Oscar Health is pulling back a little bit. Maybe it's on that. Maybe it's every health related stock that comes down.
Johnny, don't give
time.
in to him. Just say no. No, don't tell him he's right. He's not.
Yes.
You don't have to be technical. TLDR. It's okay. Sorry, Neil.
Intel is still at 21, so that hasn't changed in decades. Could we increase the resolution of our stream? Our stream is streaming at 720p because the platform we are using offers 720p, and if we want more, we'll have to pay more, but I'm not willing to give them that much more money.
Is it a lot more, Neil? I'll look into it just because someone asked.
No, it's also very strange that, I mean, I'm already paying for this, and it's only 720. Like the norm should have been already 1080 by now.
That is true. That's why I was confused because I'm like, I thought you were paying for this, so they want extra.
I am paying for
this. I
this.
know. That's what I thought, that you were paying for this. So you should guide the 10 whatever, 1080.
Yeah, no, that's strange, but oh well, we'll check it out later. Nebius is still at 47, but I don't know. It just smells like a cup and handle pattern in the making, and so hopefully we can see like $40, maybe a little bit less next week or so. I don't know, just making some bold predictions here with my crystal ball that doesn't exist. So
yours doesn't exist. Mine works just fine. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, so okay, bold prediction. Let's see if your crystal ball works fine.
Stock market will be up or down within the next few days. Nailed it.
More likes, more subs, more money, more dips. Yeah, it's also a very good. That's also
don't say good shirt. Don't say oh my God, you and these shirts, Neil.
Man, we could have already opened up a store. We compete with Nike and Lululemon.
They don't have a chance. Let's see.
What do you think about Zeta? I mean, same thing as last week. It's just that the stock is much higher today than it was last week. So that's all I can say right now.
What's going on?
Although I did say that.
Go ahead.
What's going on?
Yeah, go. I'll ask after. I thought you were done.
No, it's funny because the average analyst price target was double the price we were at last week, and now we are making our way up to 16.5. So yeah, I mean, it can still go up more and more. It's going to probably test the 200-day moving average, and then we're going to see whether or not it has enough buying power to go above it. But other than that, still the same company it was last week.
I was gonna say, well, what's going any movement with Nebius and CoreWeave today?
I just showed you Nebius. What do you mean?
Did we look at it? How was it down? No.
I showed you this exactly 60 seconds ago.
I was too busy enjoying the comments. All right, sorry, Neil.
CoreWeave is still at 183.
That's wild.
It's crazy. I mean, Circle is probably also up there. Yeah, 240. That's crazy. This thing opened in the 60s when I 200. I mean, this could have been, wow. This is nuts. I mean, the fact that Circle, what is it worth? Circle is worth, can't even see it, but it's not that far away from Coinbase's market cap, which also doesn't make much sense. But yeah, there is a very, very good question here.
Sorry, I clicked something. Nebius is down, CoreWeave is up, Circle Internet is nuts.
Yes, correct. That's the too long didn't read part
Thank you.
of it all. Let me be the sucker in the chat. Can we talk about PayPal and the whole stablecoin situation? So there was actually an announcement this morning, again, around stablecoins, because 2025 is the year of the stablecoin, it does seem. So where is that post? Here it is. So we have here this announcement this morning. So
is this the month and week of stablecoins?
Yeah, it seems like it. Do you know how to pronounce this?
Fiserv
or Fizer?
I don't know. I thought you were testing me. Both would be fine with me, Neil.
I don't know. Okay, anyways, they're going to launch a stablecoin platform for 3,000.
Maybe Fi, because financials, and Serve, because serving.
Fiserv?
So yeah. Fiserv.
Anyways, should have chosen a better name. So Fiserv is planning to roll out a stablecoin called FiUSD, I guess, and a supporting platform by year end, giving more than 3,000 regional and community banks access to the growing stablecoin space. The platform will support integration with other stablecoins and partners like Circle, Paxos, and Solana, and a separate deal with PayPal is also in the works. Banks will be able to create branded stablecoins with large institutions handling custody. The system will include fraud, risk, and settlement controls, and fees will be tied to transaction volume and reserve yield. So, I mean, very good news, I guess, for the stablecoins universe. Michael, absolute hero, I'm listening more to you than my wife. I mean, Michael, if you have a wife, you have something to tell me. This is my cousin, by the way.
Oh, okay.
He does not. He does not have a wife unless he has a wife, and I know.
See, that joke now makes more sense. I was like, you have something to tell me that it makes sense to me. But thank you for letting us know about Michael being a liar.
But yeah, no, it does seem like stablecoins are getting way more attention in 2025. I guess it helps when Circle goes public.
Do you think, Neil, now this is going to be when we get to earnings, every type of fintech company is going to talk about stablecoin? Just like how every cloud company talks about AI.
Yeah, I guess so, although for some companies probably does not make any sense to talk about stable coins, but I guess for payment companies, yes, like Visa, MasterCard are definitely going to talk about it. PayPal already has it, so they can talk about it now. And I wish this would push
You're
the
like,
stock
pump,
but
go ahead. You are wild.
Exactly.
Wild.
Smart, but wild. Um, but yeah, on the live on X, one day we will be the number one show here on X Live. We will be higher than that dude right here at 2.8K. Although together we're
We
already
have
at
1K.
1,000, but
Yeah.
we will need more. Well, we are more than Wolf, which is good.
Boom, boom,
We are
boom.
here to dominate. But yeah, I don't know if there was a specific question here. This Fiserv and PayPal collaboration allows them to transfer funds both domestically and internationally and cross-platform. Yes, that's basically the whole
TLDR.
premise behind stablecoins, right? It's the fact that you can make payments instantly. It costs you less. These platforms, of course, have now their own payment rails, although PayPal has their PayPal ecosystem. But for the other platform or the other banks right here, they could issue their own stable coins. They'll probably make money on that through the yields. And yeah, fees wise, things should go down. So it's good. It's a positive thing. It's a positive thing for PayPal for sure.
Adam 12 keeps hounding us with this question, Neil. I don't know if we talked about it. I don't know if you want to give a TLDR on this one.
Do you think it will soar more, or is the stock already stretched out? I mean, to flip the question, right? What would cause the stock to soar? Is the question.
What would cause? Are you asking me or are you asking Adam?
Well, Adam is not here with us, so I
I
guess
guess.
I'm
All right.
asking
All right.
you.
What would cause the stock to soar? I mean, I think a lot of excitement in the consumer space. I think that market has been lagging. Commentary there. I don't know though if from me seeing, I don't think anyone's buying too many new laptops or phones just yet. Thanks to this AI push, the AI PC market. So I'm not expecting too much from the consumer space just yet. But on the other end, Neil, it doesn't have to happen just yet. It could also just be Micron selling the memory to all these companies that are pre-building for the holiday season, which is should be happening in about half a year from now, about 6 months from now. So if there is this nice push from your Dells, from your HPE, assuming a very strong holiday season, then you would expect Micron to have heavy numbers this quarter, and a strong guidance. So I think what would cause them to soar is strong consumer growth, which would be that companies are expecting a strong holiday season.
I mean, we're not there yet with the holiday season, so calm down. We're only in
But
the summer right now,
but
okay?
remember, Neil, I mean, for these memory players, you're not gonna buy the memory to on December or the third or the fourth quarter to build that laptop, to build that PC. The Dell Technologies are placing the orders right now so they can have that product ready for the holiday season. So there's a little bit of a not a lag, but a pull ahead in the orders before the holiday season kicks in for companies like Micron, for companies like AMD, obviously for Dell Technologies and those that have the consumer as the end player, they tend to see that revenue growth mainly at the actual holiday season themselves.
Interesting. 6 minutes to the market open, by the way. Um, SMCI. SMCI is still in the 40s, strangely enough. Do you think this one will explode soon, or will this now always stay
Well,
under
the question here, Neo,
scrutiny?
is what would cause this stock to explode?
Aha! Are you asking me or are you asking Adam?
I'm asking you, Neo.
To be honest, probably continued growth, right? No changes in their guidance like they've been doing for the past 4 quarters in a row. So yeah, continued growth. no changes in guidance. Maybe margins started to stabilize, and that's about it, I guess. Joseph asked here the very important question: why can't we be fortune tellers and see the
I don't
future?
know.
I mean, we can see the future with Google. It's like
I just don't see the date of when it's gonna reach the price target I have. That's the thing.
exactly like I see, but
We only have
still too
half
cloudy.
resolution, like our stream.
Yeah, 360p.
I don't know if it's a 2026, 2027, but I see the price target.
Also, with this question, of course, let me just check my crystal ball real quick. So, where do you think SoFi will be at the end of the year? We're now at $15. Can it be higher at the end of the year? It can. Can it be lower? Yes. My crystal ball is not really helpful right now. So,
Which one are you more leaning to, um, Neo?
bing. I think we close the year closer to 20
Tenny,
than I do to 15. That's my prediction here. So note it.
noted. We have loser man here. Just saw a post about Nova and him's contract. Yep, and one of the main reasons Hims is down right now a nice amount.
Indeed, indeed. But again, uh, with these stocks, I would not be surprised
And the crazy thing
if we see
about
it rebound.
end of year predictions is just so wild, Neil. Right? I mean, it's anything could happen in macro world, in the business world. That I think short and having a price prediction for the end of the year is, I don't know. I almost nearly impossible to ever be correct. And if anybody ever gives you a price target, I think they're just trying to sell something to you.
Um, or they're analysts and they're following the.
But still, even with the price target, like they're not going to be right. Like
No,
I prefer analysts that give me more of like instead of one price target. There's a few analysts that give you a bearish and a bullish price target. They're like, hey, look, I'm bullish if this goes right. Oh, let's say for AMD, if this goes right, if they sell these many MI350s, if they sell this many server CPU market share, I believe the price target will be closer to this. And they give me a bear case. You know what could happen? Maybe they don't sell this many MI350s. This is where I believe the price target could head to. I actually enjoy something like that more because it gives me the time to think of which scenario I believe is more likely to happen and try to understand what are the possible cases as well. But just a simple price target is like, cool, thanks. I can give a number based on some quick charts I made really quickly as well.
well, you don't like price targets that are based on sales multiples 3 years out and some
So,
glorified statements.
I mean, I think just saying with I could see the price around this, but just giving like an actual price target, a definite. I'm not a fan of definite because I think there's no definite in this market.
Of course, I know that they're all guessing, but at least if the story behind it makes sense, then fine. Then I'm good. Then I'm good with that. But a lot of the, maybe who I'm talking about, pink jacket analyst, sneaker guy with Godfather of AI statements and Messi of AI and LeBron of AI statements usually comes out with BS price targets just because the stock price is up, and then the old switcheroo. Markets are opening anyways in a couple of seconds, so I'm already prepared
Thank you, Neil.
right
You are
right
prepared.
now.
Not the amateur hour.
Exactly, because if I have to rely on my co-host here, don't think we would have made it past the intro.
You would have with some text all over the place. AMD breaks. What's no AMD is of today.
It's not going to break all-time highs anytime soon, I think.
All right, market is open. Let's see what we have here, Neo. And batter. We have
Nothing so far.
Navida's down 4%. Applied Digital down to 4%. At now below $10. Neil, what's the price target you were gonna start to alert us at?
For what?
Um, Applied Digital, was Applied Digital in an alert?
Yeah, maybe 7, 8. I
I
think.
think it was 7. Right.
Yeah.
All right. You gotta keep up with these alerts.
Yeah, 7, 8.
Wolf Speed down 28%. I wonder if they finally gave
Oh,
an
they're probably
announcement of.
they're done. Finito.
Let's see, Wolf Speed stock.
Yeah, to file for bankruptcy in restructuring deal.
Oh wow.
Adios, senor.
Yeah.
Okay, let me refresh another time here and see. Wow, Google down again. Crazy.
What a problem.
What a surprise. Tesla is up
Um,
2.6%, AMD up 2.32%.
Nvidia down 0.6%. Poor
Loser.
Nvidia. Loser.
Palantir is up 1.5. Uber is basically flat, so I guess the launch yesterday meant nothing to the stock and the stock market.
Yeah.
So
Let's see.
wow, HIMS is down 28% now.
That is wild. Well, it's not wild, but it's just wild seeing a lot of the stocks I want to drop so I can buy more don't want to drop, but the stocks that I don't want to buy are down.
AST is down 5, Nebius down 2.6. So I guess HIMS is getting the GLP-1 treatment. Ha! Got him.
Neil.
I've always said that if this never works out, I can do stand-up comedy.
I don't know about that either.
Imagine stand-up comedy, but only talking about stocks. Okay, Tesla up 4% now, and Google down 1.5%. There is nothing to laugh about here. Only crying. You guys are my kind of nerds. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Joseph. We're here to hopefully make money.
Well,
hopefully. That's what I'm here for, but hopefully it pays out.
Yeah. Did you watch the NBA finals yesterday, by the way?
The what?
Okay, I guess you didn't watch it.
No, I have a kid, Neil. There's no TV time for me.
Yeah, but it was last night. Your kid
I don't
is
care.
sleeping.
It's that's my rest time and maybe get some work done.
Okay, fair enough. Well, OKC won the championship, in case you were wondering.
Thank you. I definitely.
I didn't even know they were in the final.
I couldn't have Googled it. Thank you for that. Sure, Google.
But they won it because the Pacers star got injured after a couple of minutes.
Let's see. SMCI down.
That's because of us.
What did we do, Neil?
We talked about it.
Oh. Talk about Google some more. Wait, it's down 1%? It's actually
1.2. We're at $164 right now.
Very good, very good.
What else? Some of the so-called meme/cult stocks are taking a beating a bit today, which is probably a good thing. SoFi is actually down 3.2%. I don't understand, but I still think it's closer to 20 by the end of this year. HIMS down 30%.
And Martin, just in case you weren't here about Supermarket, one of the reasons though is they did kind of have a $2 billion debt. Maybe we should have put $2 billion senior notes that they're raising. So pretty much raising debt. Some can say that's bullish. It means they need more money for more AI stuff to really hit that whatever type of guidance they gave. I forgot the guidance that they gave, but I don't know.
Yeah. I prefer to watch EU football when I do watch sports. I think there is I don't think I know. There is like a football World Cup in the United States going on right now. So you have some good teams actually playing in your country instead of these third tier MLS football.
Yeah. Sorry, I rudely removed the chat.
Yeah.
You asked for a red market. To be, I don't see a red market just yet.
No, nothing. Like
This is just a
this is
typical Monday
nothing.
morning.
This is not. Go back and watch our streams back in April.
That
That was
the
something interesting.
the
Therapy
therapy
sessions.
hour. um,
But yeah, and
or
nothing that crazy going on right now. Let's do a quick recap of everything here. So HIMS at around $45 right now. What other popular stock is there out there? AMD is green a little bit. Uber basically flat. AST down 5% after it doubled in less than 3 weeks. Micron flat. Who else has been moving? Nebius really does not want to drop that much, it seems. Robinhood still at 77. Oh, that was also a nice rally. This was no-brainer here. Novo Nordisk down 6%. So again, $69 here. Very nice number for some strange reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know. This is not a huge dip, I'd say. It's not a crazy dip. Google still
I
seems
agree.
quite attractive. So yeah, I guess that's all we've got for you right now. We will, of course, be back tomorrow with another episode of the Breakfast Club / comedy show for you. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you all for joining us, of course. Hopefully, my results actually.
What was your poll?
Google to 200 by the end of the year. 79% say yes. So I
Oh,
guess we're all bullish now on
okay, we're all bullish.
on Google. So anyways, thank you all for joining, and we'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye bye.